Hello, my loves. I got a little surprise for you. Yes, under this scarf here, I decided to take my locks and put them into crochet. Well, what happened was I had a really bad electric reaction to something and don't know what happened. Got broke out really bad and it went to my scalp. And yes, hair just started falling out. So I decided to just let it go. Let it go. Just can't take it anymore. And on a more serious note, I remember God told me that it was time for me to cut my locks off. And I was reluctant to do it, kept talking about how people recognize me by my locks. And this is just like my new trademark looking all. And I heard God tell me again, it's time for me to cut the locks off. And I just didn't want to let my hair go. And all of a sudden, I got started breaking out in these hives all over my arms and didn't quite know what was going on. And then my scalp started itching really bad, you guys. And before you knew it, I was just kind of doing my hair and locks would just fall to the floor. And I'm like, what is going on here? So I decided to wash my hair, do a deep conditioning, and do this protective style. Like, let me just go ahead and just do some crochets and let my hair just break for a minute. Little did I know it was going to start just really just coming out all over. And I was like, it's just too traumatic. It was just too traumatizing for me to just watch my hair one at a time just kind of fall to the floor. So I said, you know what? It is just hair and it will grow back. I didn't even try to take the crochets out. I just decided to just go right under all those braids. And no, everybody, it wasn't too tight. It had nothing to do with it. It was just a part of my allergic reaction to what? I have no idea. I have a feeling it has to do with some supplements I decided to take for weight loss. But at this moment, I'm not quite sure what my reaction was to. It's not the first time I've had hair come out from taking from having some kind of something I was eating caused my hair to fall out. But this time I didn't notice it because I have locks and didn't think about it at the time. So right here I decided, I'm just gonna take the clippers in and go all in and say I'm committed to this process and here we go. Oh my goodness, you guys. It's important to be obedient to God. God say let it go. Let it go. Don't worry about what you think or how you think people are going to see it or it had nothing to do with anybody else. I just kept saying, this is my look. I love this look. But when God say move, baby, you better start moving. Because I probably could have did something different besides just going all the way and just cutting it all off. But in this moment, I was just so happy to get this hair off. And yes, y'all, I decided to laugh about it a little bit. Here we go. Throw that back on there like a comb over. Plop. Just like that. Yes, baby. Let it go. Little did I know while I was cutting my hair off, it just something beautiful happened to me. I just decided to record the whole thing because I didn't know what it would look like. I didn't know how I would react to it. I've never seen my head naked before. I've always been the girl who didn't want to even shave the back of her neck. I'm just didn't even want to shave my armpits. Some of my friends know that, but hey, I'm such a natural person. But here I am at a full natural state. Gotta trust the process. You may not want to trust God all the time, but blind faith is real. Baby, look. And it's off. Watch this. You see that, y'all? Just pulled it right off with my hands. I had no idea that would happen, but I was gonna be funny and leave it there, and all of a sudden I would just start to tug, and it just peeled right off like butter. I was like, well, guess God said let it all go, so we might as well get rid of these little leftover locks and nappy pieces on top too. Just let the whole thing go. let it go. I have never in my life experienced anything like this. This part of my transition is just so beautiful. I decided to share it with you guys. Since transparency is my main focus with everybody, to be transparent about everything, why not be transparent about this part of my world too? I don't know what it was that I was allergic to, but hey, shit happens. Like, let me finish getting this little patch over here. You talking about being committed to it, honey. She was committed, Miss Carly. Yes. Now I gotta look at it. Let's see. That buzzing on my scalp, I never felt all that vibration from a clippers before in my life. It was my first experience. I couldn't believe how that even felt on my scalp. It was just such a different sensation. I'm still trying to make sure I don't leave any patches behind on there. Like, if it's got to be gone, let me take it all the way off. I had had my locks for about 10 years. And I heard in the Rasta culture, after a certain amount of time, after you deal with grief, death, and other things, that you just kind of cut your locks off. And I never did it. I just said, you know what? I was okay with it, but God said, no, let go of all that. It's time for a new start. And I'm excited about it. I noticed once I cut my hair off that I never expected how I felt. I never expected to feel so beautiful in my life. I looked at myself in that mirror and I said, wow, I'm so beautiful. It wasn't the hair that made me beautiful. It's just me. Just me. Just naturally me. Nothing to hide behind. That's the first time. This is the first time I've ever touched my whole head. I know. I'm like, it's gone. It's all gone. It feels good. It feels really good. It's mine. This is me. Had to stop and take a sip of coffee for a minute and just take it all in. I just couldn't believe this look of mine. I couldn't believe it. But when I looked in the mirror, it's like I've always named my new hairstyles, my new wigs, and I had to think about it like, who is she? This is a new look. This is a new hairstyle. This is a new me. And what am I going to call her? I never met her before. But in this moment, I realized her name, and it made me so happy. I felt so alive. I never felt this way before in my life. I was just in awe of how beautiful I was, just unapologetically me, bald head and all, and she's still beautiful. I think her name is going to be Racinta Eugenia. That's my name, Racinta Eugenia, my birth name that I was given at birth by my parents. Racinta Eugenia is her name, Bogart. And that's my name from before any trauma, before any divorce, before any heartache, before anything has ever happened in my world. The purest form of Carly is Racinta Eugenia, and that's what I'm going to call her. Racinta Eugenia. Welcome. Welcome to my platform. Thank you for serving your place in my world all this time. I love you, and I appreciate you for being a part of my world my whole life. And thank you for such a time as this. I need your purity of heart to continue to move forward in this world. You are a beautiful flower, angel, all that you were named at birth. Such a powerful Swahili name, and you were renamed Carly Davenport. But this girl right here, who am I? Racinta Eugenia. I love you and thank you. You're worth it. You're worth it, and thank you all for being a part of my journey. Thank you.